compression is just insane.
So it turns out it actually wasn't bad. It's just that my thing is compressing videos slightly better, which is nice. Anyway, let's continue. Sorry about the 6-minute episode, I guess. Just trying to increase the episode length artificially. There,
Yeah,
you
of course.
see.
Away!
Yeah, I'm comfy, old man. Ambassador Alva, ask you to please reconsider letting them into Alabast.
What's that?
My very own security has been murdered in the Papalis embassy.
Oh,
And he was
fuck!
apparently caught up in some very shady dealings, completely unbeknownst to me. How would you like to involve yourself in completely unbeknownst shady dealings with me, sir? So I ask for your cooperation in your investigation.
I actually cannot tell the gender of this ambassador.
I'm guessing they're an old man.
These aren't much, but I hope they can cover your travel expenses to Bobble someday. Alright, I get it. Even if you beg Ambassador Alba, I still have to give the final okay anyway.
Alright, you hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We're in.
Not so fast, my little crow girl. You're such a witness, and you're still a witness to the Bobble murder. So I'd like you to please stay in the Republic of Bobble.
Detective Gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good to me. The fewer troublemakers, the better.
I love that duo. Kay and Edgeworth just fucking raspberrying together, like.
I'll have to
everyone.
build that with Ashera and Jimmy. It won't work.
Hell yeah! No, Jimmy wouldn't do that. Ashera and Egg.
No, Egg kind of hates her. It's like, this kid is so annoying. That's their dynamic. Which is funny in its own right.
Alright, Ashera and Gunter.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two would get along like peas in a pod.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask for a while now, but that lady there, is she who I think she is?
Ah, that's right. I didn't introduce the two of you yet.
Francisca von Karma, the prosecutorial prodigy. It's nice to see you again.
Your mic is cutting out a little bit every once in a
Fuck.
while.
It's probably because I have NVIDIA on.
Ah.
I just-
Interesting. This makes them look like the same size. I guess they would be the same size. Francisca's isn't tall.
They're also like a year apart in age. Which
They are.
is 2 years apart.
Okay, well, they're at the age where they stopped growing. They hit that a little bit.
Oh, I knew it. You're the whip lady.
Yeah, that's what everyone calls her when they haven't played the games.
And also, in some cases, what they call her after they've played the games.
Yes.
You may address me as Miss Von Karma. Miss Von Karma, I leave the investigation of Alabast in your hands. Thanks. Rest assured I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Yatagarasu.
The smuggling ring, Perhaps I should ask Francisca a bit more about them before I head into Alabast. Ah, and I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Paleno for that and all he has done for me. I had some problems with that line for some reason. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Just the unmoving nature of their body.
Yeah, just kind of cursed.
Okay, I'm glad that you were not hurt, but please refrain from such recklessness, alright? What if you had run into the Yatagarasu? You could have been killed. What if you ran into a fire?
Sorry to make you worry like that. Also, I'll be more careful from now on, but can you look at me while you're talking to me instead
Yeah,
of
good
staring
girl,
at
it's-
Edgeworth's or Gumshoe's ear?
It's a good girl. Oh, Mr.
Oh.
Edgeworth.
Oh, God.
It's good to conduct some self-reflection every once in a while.
It's funny, you know, when I talk with you, Mr. Edgeworth, it's like I'm talking with my father.
Is that so? Haven't really seen that old tour.
Yes, please adopt
Let's
her.
see what other kind of fun ways Yeah, nice. Detective Gumshoe. And counting on you to keep Kay safe. Well, gee, you could ask me to my face, sir.
Yes, sir. You just leave everything to me, sir. And if you don't turn towards me, I'm gonna hit you in the back of your head again. Don't worry, I'll take good care of Gummy for you. Well, the fucking, like, no frame animation turn as well. We'll go investigating the bauble side of things together.
This camera angling shit with how the characters are talking to each other, it's like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, where it just pans in like really close on Edgeworth's eyes while the characters have a conversation in the background because he's too busy being a fucking loser in the foreground.
Right, Kay? That's right, Gummy. I'm just grabbing your heart through your chest.
Yeah, that's right. Bops with book. All they're missing is the last stooge.
Yeah, that's you, buddy.
I think the last stooge is Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, good point. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, nice. Edgeworth, stop ruining our conversation. Ambassador Paleno, I'm in your debt. No, it's nothing. Because it's about all I can do for you, I'm afraid. I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice. I will, Ambassador, on my honor. Wow, you're so sensational. It really piqued my curiosity. I know they aren't much, but you know what I'm giving them to you wholehearted. You know, when I read his voice, I should do this. Just like, you know, fingering the mic.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. No, that's quite alright.
Oh, well, how about this then?
Honestly, I don't think that's getting the desired effect.
It's just annoying.
Yeah.
And what exactly is it?
It's fountain pen ink.
I guess I could do like this. I don't know if you can even hear that. Probably not.
Known as Bobbly's ink, it's made exclusively in Bobble.
Yeah, if you're doing something else, I can't hear it.
So this is Bobbly's ink. Maybe if I take my blanket and just rub it across the table.
I think you're good.
We make it from wood crystal oil, which is mined for our mineral mines.
I mean, you could try like, it's not going through the mic. I'm trying to like rub my hands together.
That's what I'm trying to do, but my hands are too soft.
Please accept
Yeah,
this
same.
ink. One dip of your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer.
How fortunate for me. The ink in my pen just happened to have run out. I gladly accept your gracious gift. And now I'm going to use it to get you at the end of the game.
Great! Wonderful! I guarantee to you that the writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience.
I'll just scratch my beard. That'll work.
And since we don't export it, if you run out, you're always welcome to come and visit our fair nation.
Talk about cornering the customer along with the market.
I mean, if that's what you gotta do, it's a good thing that you're the one voicing that character.
Yeah. You've made so much progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. It's truly amazing.
Agent Hicks, whose help I had requested, was cut down before he completed his task. There is no room for further failure in my perfect investigation.
How dare he die? What an asshole.
What a fucking prick.
In spite of that, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct?
It was nothing. Please stop pinching my knuckle. I simply made some deductions based on the smuggled item I was following.
Yeah, stop it.
You mean the Bobbly's ink? But why are these restrictions on the export of Bobbly's ink to begin with?
That's classified Interpol info.
Francisca, are you subordinate? I am part of your investigation now. Don't you think it would be beneficial if it was a well-informed as you?
Point taken. Very well, I'll fill you in. Recently, we discovered some very well-made counterfeit bills circulating in Zangfa.
Counterfeit bills?
Yes. As you may have deduced, the counterfeits are being made with Bobble's special Bobbly's ink. And it's virtually impossible to distinguish bills made with Bobbly's ink from real ones. Thus, it was only natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Bobble.
Nice, so he just dropped off highly gauded ink.
Wait a second, Miles Edgeworth, you have Bobbly's ink. Arrest this man.
Wait a second, Francisca. You have a weapon in an international lobby.
Oh shit.
It's allowed because I'm attractive.
Well, I'm attractive, too.
Well,
Damn
that's
it.
where I would allow a weapon, but not ink.
That's where this document comes into play, correct?
Correct. Mr. Cochin was smuggling large amounts of Babalese ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I need to know that he was the head of the smuggling ring. However, there remains one tiny problem.
Let me guess. You still have yet to find the counterfeit bills or the smuggled ink?
Yes, and while we're listing things, I might as well add the counterfeit plates to the pile.
I don't think that's the small problem. That feels like the entire point.
Since we haven't been able to locate any of these items in the Babalese embassy, we're looking into the Alabastian embassy next. It doesn't matter where they're hidden. Mark my words, I will find them.
I will search every single suspicious nook and cranny.
You could say I won't rest until I'm done.
Well, shall we get going? What's wrong, Kay?
I didn't get permission to enter Alabast, so we're going to go gather whatever info we can over on the Babalese side, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you two.
Right, and I'm counting on you and Miss Von Karma to sniff out clues in Alabast. Oh, and Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phone, you let me know, okay? If you tell me, I'll rush on over straight away, no matter where you are.
Please don't break international law, Kay. I'll let you know when the time comes. Found him. If Kay had, like, 30-foot long breasts, I'd say, look, there she is. It looks just like her. It's busty, just like her. But no, she
Wait.
doesn't. Because it's a statue
Wait.
bust.
What? What are you talking about?
I made a
30
joke when
foot
we
breasts?
first entered the room where there was a statue, and I said, there it is, there's the imposter. Which doesn't make sense because that's a statue, and that was the joke. And then I thought about it for a second
bust.
longer. I'm like, yeah, it's a bust. So, you know, if Kay had 30-foot long breasts, then I could be like, oh, look, there it is. It's as busty as she is. But
I mean,
unfortunately...
If Kay had 30-foot long breasts, she would be the average anime girl in the modern era.
Yeah, they would. I mean, some anime characters don't have exuberant breastage. It feels like there's two extremes. Enormous or flat. There's no in between.
Well, and then there's the ones where they have the 30-foot breasts, and they're like, I'm so flat, don't make fun of me. And it's
Okay,
like...
I don't think I've ever seen that. What game does that?
Well, not like... I'm exaggerating. Like, there'll be characters that, like, have, like, C cups, and they're like, oh, I'm flat. And it's like, no, that's actually, like, on the higher end of distribution.
Who
But...
knows?
Okay.
Ugh.
What do you think you're doing to my subordinate? Oh.
You're... God damn it. Edgy! Oh, thank the heavens you're here!
Didn't I call this? Didn't I call this?
You thought it was old bag.
No. Did I say No, I thought the other one was old bag, right?
The other one was old bag. You thought this one was old bag as well.
No. I thought old bag was the pink princess or whatever.
And you were right, but you also thought that this one was old bag as well.
No, we haven't seen old bag in this trial.
We saw old bag in the previous trial, the pink badger.
Yeah, that's the pink badger, but there's also like a princess character that they talked about here.
Oh, maybe.
That I thought was old bag. I think I thought that is the last episode up? I'll check later tonight.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think it's up.
Okay.
I'm in a really, really big pickle, your lordship. The raven had appeared. Poof. And then disappeared. Swoosh. And though I am the steel samurai, my sword, I'm so confused. I don't know what anything means anymore.
Who is this? You can't say that.
I'm Larry, the House of Butts, married man of Neo Tokyo, m'lady.
Married. Now I remember. This person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles?
He is rather fruity. Yes, frighteningly enough, he is. Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud is in a bind. You act like it's no big deal. What sort of bind are we talking about here? A A suspect kind! I accidentally became a suspect in a murder! I see, that is quite a bind.
Not that we're in the least bit surprised.
Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by one. That was uncalled for. Besides your... Wait, hold on. Larry! It was you? You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph? Oh, you didn't notice earlier? I even winked at you through my headpiece.
What's going on? And why are you beet red?
Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? Oh, sorry, am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? This game just went off the fucking deep end.
Oh my god, in the best way possible.
Aha, so this is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this man, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what, you ask? Of the murder of a man who had snuck into the embassy. Mask to Mask 2.
Two!
That's right. Yeah, Mask to Mask 2. Here they are. Mask to Mask 2.
This game is all about fan service, and I'm down for that, actually.
Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. But no matter what the facts seem to say, Larry's not the type to commit murder. Still, it's a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butts is innocent of all wrongdoing.
Oh no.
Shifu, we've identified the victim! Good work, I'll take the report now. Agent Lang, would you mind if I took a peek at this as well? What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh around here to feed one wolf, and that is me. So no, you may not take a peek. But Agent Lang... Okay.
Oh, this is where the Great Revival could actually play.
Okay, but it was one case.
Agent Lang, will you allow an investigator such as myself to take a look?
You know the real reason I gave you bad is because he has the exact same jacket that Gunter has?
Yeah, I even gave it one of the holes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course. You let the detective see the file.
You're Detective Bad.
You're the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, right?
Fancy meeting you here, Detective.
You weren't expecting me. Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yatagarasu non-stop. I even pressured Interpol. Yeah, that's right. Into keeping me in the loop, in case a card was ever found.
What incredible dedication to the case.
I'm definitely one of the murderers this time.
This guy, you can tell for sure, he is tough, boiling water.
Excuse me?
I tried to make a joke where it's hard-boiled, but I couldn't think of two words, because hard-boiled doesn't really have another
You
word
thought
for it.
you thought a synonym of boiled was boiling water.
I couldn't think. Alright, what's a synonym for boiled, okay then?
I mean, like, you could just say, like, cooked.
Tough, cooked? Okay, I guess that works. Detective Bad, known by the Yanagarasu's M.O. very well. And his passion for the chase hasn't died down these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you going to make an ally out of this prosecutor?
Look at this lollipop. My only goal is to arrest the Yatagarasu. If he can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him.
Lang just reaches forward and licks it. The two stare at each other, and they just start furiously making out.
Yeah, that's right. That's definitely a fic out there. I feel like if this game came out today and it was like a mainline entry, Lang would be like the Tumblr sexy man for a while.
I'm pretty sure he's already gotten that treatment at least a little bit.
Yeah, but like he'd have it like a lot more.
Yeah, probably. Especially with cute remarks like reminding the guy's birthday or remembering.
Yeah.
Again, Gumshoe is very popular. So I bet, like, Detective Bad, if he was more shoved in the spotlight, he'd get similar popularity.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dead, Detective Bad. About the murder of Damask 2, would you be willing to fill me in on the details?
When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off guard duty and put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene. Taking advantage of the chaos, Damask 2, he broke into this embassy. Probably to steal some treasure or another.
And I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight someone else in the room?
Suspect.
Why exactly was this man placed under arrest, Detective?
That samurai?
He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reason you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless.
Well, it's just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at the Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech. And that's when the Yatagarasu showed. But keep it in mind, the Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats, for the guests who had been called to sit in them, were empty.
A no-show. Who was it that failed to take their seat?
The Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location than his assigned room at that time.
And where was he?
He was on the roof with one of his legs down a chimney.
This is such a butts thing to do. It's kind of
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. That chimney leads directly into this room.
Ugh. Larry Butts, you've really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking? In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation.
Goodbye.
I'm not solving this. Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about. Hey, how about that? I've got a few things I gotta ask you about, too. What is it? It's like, both you and him. How's it the two of you always managed to have some cute or hot girl by your side? And Franny, what about that promise you made to me?
Promise? What promise?
Well, you said you would model for me next book. Francie's Whippity Whip Trip. I don't recall this. Was this in 3?
I don't think that's a thing that happened.
Oh!
I made no such promise!
Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. When something smells, it's usually the butts. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Loris Dunum now? That's Dognim! I have no idea how to pronounce that. Loris Dionim!
It's just Dunim.
Dunim?
Like that's yeah, it's like
Loris
it's like supposed to be
Dunim.
French. Yeah.
Get that straight in your head, Edgy. Ow, 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 ow!
Now I remember, you're that rude, pale imitation of a real artist.
No, you got it all wrong. I gave up on that whole Larice business. Besides, when Bangelina left me in my heart in pieces, is it always just musical instruments and then Ina and then Trina?
Is that a thing? I haven't noticed it.
That's when Mindy walked into my... No, I think it's just being fucking ridiculous. She's been so good to me that I wanted to help her out in some way. And I figured I could through the Steel Samurai outfit.
Your inane blathering makes less and less sense each time we meet.
You know, I have a conclusion. I feel like boomers are secret underground Phoenix Wright players. And they all see Larry Butts and see how incompetent he is and see how many jobs he's able to get and go, what the hell's wrong with the kids of this generation? Why can't they get jobs? Look at this fucking goon. Look how many jobs he gets.
Yeah, it's true.
I believe he's saying that he has picked up on this part-time job as the Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the hearts of the actress who plays the Pink Princess.
Oh, it's not old bag.
You got it! I knew you'd know what I mean, Edgy. Maybe it is, and he's just, like, you know, an idiot. Not really. It's not so much as I understood, but a simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry.
I don't think it's fair to use such a intelligent sounding term for Larry.
Well, just because it's an intelligent sounding word doesn't mean that his operandi is completely fucking stupid.
I know, but it makes it sound more serious than it is, you know?
Well, to Larry, it is serious because it's his whole life.
Yeah, well, like, should stop being
clinical.
such a fucking idiot loser.
But I mean, he's happy. He keeps getting into happy little accidents that keep getting him girls.
Yeah.
Larry
Short-lived,
Butts is more
but still.
successful than I am. He gets a billion jobs. He gets pretty much with any woman he wants, except for main characters. They're a side character. You know, how many women has he dated at this point?
I mean, he probably has a very high count. However, I don't think that, like, I mean, when they're each lasting 2 weeks, like, it's better than nothing.
Some
I
of them
suppose.
lasted a while, and I mean, he's happy, sort of.
But like that, he's 50-50, either happy or like suffering heartbreak.
Yeah. But he keeps getting back up. What a guy. You gotta respect his tenacity. Larry, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight. Confess? Hey! Don't tell me you suspect me too! Nonsense. I don't believe you have the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. For past experience has taught me that you were always at the center of some insane event. Edgy, how could you be so mean? Stop me with your words like that. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. So I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know. No! Okay, I get it. I keep forgetting that Emily doesn't voice me. Thank God. To stop Francie from whipping me from behind. So I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy? I can't even begin to imagine, however. I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. So you will tell me right now what exactly you did, Larry? Nope, not yet, Edgy. It'll take more than that to loosen my lips.
It would be so funny if they did the Psycho-Lock animation just for the bit.
A lot more.
Confess now.
Oh. Okay, well, I was up on the roof. And why exactly were you up there? Ah, you know, that wintry custom in the legendary hero.
Legendary?
Hero. Santa Claus!
Santa
Claus. I wanted to do that thing he does, so I climbed up on one of the chimneys. When I got there was smoke pouring up from the chimney.
Larry, it's June. Can you imagine?
You know, remember how we were in the office and they commented that something had been burned in the fireplace?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where he was. He was above that office. So
Yeah,
already that's a problem. He wasn't over this office, he was over that office.
I mean, unless this chimney also has something burned in it.
I guess that's true.
Do we know what day it is? I mean, like, they said it on
Yes.
the loading screen.
It is winter, I think.
You can't really check. Clearly, you don't own an air fryer. I can say that every time I see his stupid face.
I don't know.
Autopsy report, probably. Like, you have an autopsy report for the first murder, right? I guess not, you just have body notes. Yeah, right.
No, I don't even think I have body notes.
No, you have body notes.
Where are the body notes at?
It's like
Am I an idiot? Oh. No, this isn't gonna have it.
Yep, yeah, it won't say. It says it on the load screen, but that's fine, it's not important.
Yeah. And I couldn't go down to the chimney with smoke coming up, right? So I gave up. Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right? Of course I know. I did graduate from junior high, you know. Then you should also understand this.
If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history. Ah, crud! It is your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as the prime suspect of this murder. Come on, man. What's so wrong with pretending to be Santa? Let's start with the fact that it will be the Ides of March in a matter of hours. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It would have been funnier if I didn't think of the joke first, but that's fine.
Santa only visits homes on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit. No! Hey, wait a sec. We're not in court.
Alright, Larry.
Hey, Larry, look at my badge. Larry, I wonder if you might know what this is.
No, not a clue. You didn't even look at it. Nah, it's because the only thing I can see right now is the form of my lovely Franzi.
Oh, in that case, allow me to help you sear my form into you for all eternity.
Dude, I wish she would tell me that.
Eek! Ah! Whippity whip! Trip.
What? Trip. Now, this is a trip I'm willing to endorse. Especially if I get some peace here.
Oh, it's such a long animations for every item that you don't do right.
I don't know.
Show him the autograph. Show him the autograph.
Yeah, sure, why not? Oh, it's the Steel Samurai! I want you to answer this for me, Larry, and depending on the answer, I may let you live. The Steel Samurai that was up there on that stage. Was that really you? Yep, sure was! Larry! You! Steel Samurai sushi slice. I was moved by the performance of this man. This completely useless, worthless bum. I fear I may never recover from this. I don't think Emily's gonna be able to recover from this.
It's a really fucking. I don't think anything else right now will help.
Nope. There was the exact same statue sitting in that Bobblee's office we examined.
It's the Prima Duke statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Codopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Alabaster and Baba claim to have the real thing.
What an incredibly childish fight to have. But I hope they occupy 2 different slots of my evidence.
Say the line, Bart.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Yay!
There was
Why
almost
did I
the
lean
exact
back
same.
in my chair for comedic effect? I don't have a camera.
There was almost exactly the same wall mount for the knives on the Bobblee's side, but I can't see any of the details from this distance. It's a Prima Duke statue. There was one of these on the Bobblee's side as well.
I hear it's very valuable and made of pure gold. It was the national treasure of Codopia.
If that's made of pure
There's
gold, that
only
thing is
one of
heavy as
these
fuck.
Statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. Budge their claim.
What an incredibly childish fight to have.
I would not survive if I voiced Edgeworth because she says something a second time and I skip through it. You have said the Nook and Cranny line about 40 times.
The counterparts of the Bobblee's butterfly is the Alabaster air flower. The butterfly and the flower.
Butterfly and flower, they're both lovely things.
Yeah.
But can we interpret this to mean that Alabast provides honey to Francisca?
Francisca, can't you come up with a more meaningful or profound comment? Can't you come up with something that doesn't sound sexual, please?
Very well then, let's hear what sort of profound comment you can come up with.
Well, flowers cannot survive without the butterflies that spread their pollen. And butterflies cannot live without the nectar that flowers provide. If either one were to disappear from the equation, neither would survive. How was that, Miss Von Karma?
Your explanation took so long that I nearly fell asleep. Let's continue the investigation.
Francisca, why can't you admit I had something there?
I love that they fight like idiot sibling children. Like even now, like not just in the past, but also now.
She got taller, just a little bit.
I hope so. Eyes emoji.
Dude, Edgeworth is fucking towering.
Talk to the agent.
Sure, why not? No matter how hard you try, you'll never be necessity to our Shifu investigation. Is that a fact? But no matter how good he is bound to overlook something. If you insult our Shifu, then prepare to be punished.
Oh, and how exactly would you punish us?
Every investigator under Shifu's command will work to disrupt your investigation. Vindictive much?
So when you were talking to the agent and he was like facing like forwards towards Edgeworth, I saw the back of like his coat, and I thought that he had like a bubble ass, but it's actually just the coat like going out from the button.
Hanging out with the boys.
And Francisca.
Yeah, she can be one of the boys. She's allowed.
Cracking open a cold one. I've only just arrived in this room myself, which is why we need to investigate some more.
Yes, I agree.
Our priority should be on understanding what the current situation is with your shoulder.
Of course. I was planning to do the very same from the beginning. How's the situation with your shoulder? I heard you got a gunshot wound pretty recently. Fuck
Too
you.
soon. In that case, hurry up and start the investigation already.
I will, so let's get started. In order to find out the truth behind what happened here, I should start by gathering as much information as I can.
What a useless bit of dialogue.
Alright. I got this one. Ross, Jaden, Zuper, Emily. Edgeworth, Lang, MIB agent, and Francisca, who's who?
Well, if we assume that where their heads are is like their height relative to each other, even though Francisca's in the foreground a bit, then I definitely have to be Francisca. Go my height.
Yeah.
She's also the only girl. She's also attractive. I don't have a whip though, and I'm not like,
All right. Here's my thought. I'm the MIB agent. Jaden's Lang, because he's an edgelord.
Yes, right.
And Zuper's Edgeworth, because they have silver hair. And
Oh,
they're
I thought
old
you were
men.
gonna say because he's in a deep romantic relationship with the defense attorney.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, all right.
Zuper doesn't like to talk about it though.
Yeah, I mean, if I were dating Phoenix Wright, I don't think I would bring it up much.
I think I'd bring that up. I think he's a pretty charming young man.
Okay, but if you were Edgeworth and you were dating Phoenix Wright,
Okay, that's fair. But if I was Edgeworth, I wouldn't bring anything up on my social media. I'd post like one thing every 2 years, and it'd be like, oops, sorry, pocket dial.
You know what Edgeworth's Twitter would look like? Yeah, let me find it.
Posting my yearly things so Twitter doesn't think I'm a bot.
Here, read this from bottom up, because that's like the chronological order that they were posted.
Sure. Half-mast, Texas, another senseless tragedy. Sex gifts.
It's a real Dean Norris Twitter screenshot, and the sex gifts tweet is still up. It's like years ago.
What does sex gifts mean?
It looks like he maybe thought Twitter was Google. I don't know. But it's just the dichotomy of another senseless tragedy. Sex gifts.
Yeah, but that was like 3 days and then 2 hours ago.
Yeah, but still.
Sex gifts. Yep, there it is. I mean, hell yeah, right?
It's just really funny to me.
Who's Dean Morris? I don't know who that is.
He plays Hank in Breaking Bad.
Oh, that's cool.
Did you watch Breaking Bad?
No.
Okay. You see, that's one that like I think is I would recommend, but like it's not one that I would be like, oh, you haven't seen it?
I don't watch television is the thing.
Oh, I don't really either. I had to get forced to watch it by somebody.
Yeah. I know it's good. It'd be like one of the things, if I ever had the free time, I might check it out. Anyway, I just want to see the replies to this. This isn't Google, lol. Yeah, more replies, please. They're minerals. Nothing stops this train. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I forgot Twitter's not funny. Anyway.
Yeah, no, Twitter replies are just people posting random memes.
Back to Francisca.
Yay! Mask to mask. I see that yet another
there's a
weirdo
star.
is... Yes. Has popped up in my absence. Or presence.
Yes, now is to understand he was a brilliant thief to whom the world was his oyster. He stole extremely valuable objects one after another for a while. Detective Gumshoe was in charge of the case and was not once did he catch Mask to Mask.
And I had already researched all that, you know?
Last year, when Damask gave up and he was finally arrested. He was apparently represented by that man. I love how they continually just don't say Phoenix's name.
Yeah.
Knowing him, I'm almost curious to how insane that trial turned out to be.
Indeed.
But why would anyone want to kill Damask? I should really find out some more information about the victim.
What exactly is that hideous fashion faux pas of a costume he's wearing supposed to be? I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, but there's something different about it than what I remember.
That costume is from the very first Steel Samurai. It's a live-action superhero show on television beloved by children and adults alike. The Steel Samurai's weapon is the Samurai Spear. And it is with the Samurai Spear that he performs his special attacks, which enthrall all who watch them in action.
You seem to know quite a bit.
Not at all. And in any case, Francisca, I believe the samurai you are familiar with is the second one. The Nickel Samurai, which was part of the case last year. Do you recall that case?
Wait, which case was the Nickel Samurai that they're talking about? Which one is that?
Is that the one where she got shot? No, that was the Jammin' Ninja.
Yeah, it was the Jammin' Ninja. Wait, was it the... No, it was Steel Samurai and Jammin'. Yeah, what was it? Hold on a second.
When was the Nickel Samurai?
Unless that was... No, yeah, that is that case. That is Feral, my turnabout.
Is it really? The Nickel Samurai was there too.
Yeah, because it wasn't the Steel Samurai. It was the Nickel Samurai.
Yeah. Okay. Was not played by Nick Powers. Although I'd
much rather it stay buried in the depths of my mind.
Not that I blame her. She was shot during the course of the trial. I fear she may still be suffering great trauma over the shooting.
Which is why I brought it up casually. Anyway, that aside, it looks like the Steel Samurai is the suspect this time.
Yeah, so that's because
of who is inside the costume rather than the character. It's kind of a shame that you never got to see that scene of her getting shot.
Yeah, you just hear about it.
That's right, if he is the Steel Samurai. I guess that would have been too violent.
Have you been in shock over something this whole time?
No, I'm not in shock over anything at all. I wanted to forget that I had received the Steel Samurai autograph from Larry. But the autograph, the drawing of the steel spear, and the caricature of his face... Why did he waste so much time in the most useless parts of the autograph? Hey, Edgy, did you say something? No, I didn't say anything. You know, alright, I have to do this. Miss Von Karma, what do you think of this piece of evidence?
Well, since you asked so nicely as my subordinate, I'll answer you. However, as your superior, I also must make sure that my subordinates grow on the job. Therefore, please gather your own thoughts together first and then try presenting again.
The simple I don't have any thoughts about that would suffice.
That's a shame.
Darn.
I don't even remember what all it wrote. Wasn't it, like, flirty?
Yeah.
Recently, incredibly well-forged counterfeit bills have been found coming out of Zhengfa. Counterfeits made using Bobbly's ink, that is. The smuggling ring that I've been chasing is the group behind the whole operation. But mark my words, no one involved in it will escape my whip. They will all know pain.
What am I getting whipped for? I guess because he has the Bobbly's ink.
Yeah, there you go. Health and bills, Zhengfa. Kira impression. Funny.
Miss Von Karma. Okay.
We should talk to Lang and Bad, probably.
The person shaking hands with the Steel Samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba.
It was taken just before the murder.
The Steel Samurai must be very popular. They even use the National Treasure as a backdrop.
Imagine
I
Obama gets on
don't
stage and
understand.
shakes Mickey Mouse's hand.
Yeah, and then in the Mickey Mouse costume is like fucking Alpha. I just don't understand what exactly is so great about Top Knot there.
Clearly, this is the depths of the show that the young person like you can't fathom.
Fucking boomer. Speaking of young people, aren't young children the target audience of this show of costumed actors?
No. It's everyone. Jerk.
Yeah, it's enjoyed by adult children and adults alike.
Well, isn't your butt enjoyed by children and adults alike, Francisca, huh?
Excuse me?
Anyway, let's go examine the body.
Well, you haven't talked to Batterling yet.
So this is the victim, Damask 2.
What is with this gaudy outfit? You don't know about Mask to Mask? A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace. So this thief is separate from the Yatagarasu? I thought they were for a while, because their MO and targets were different. Damask likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Gumshoe is in charge of that investigation, so he'd know more about Damask. That's alright. All I'd probably hear are tales of his failure, anyway. You haven't changed a bit, I see.
In any case, let's get started here, shall we? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious hard-boiled...
Oh, we did talk to him.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry. We didn't talk to Lang, though?
Yeah. But I don't think he's gonna say anything. You did some investigating over in the Bobbly's embassy, too, didn't you? I did. Is there a problem? Langzy says a wolf who almost hunts for 2 rabbits aims to hunt 2 rabbits at once. I believe the idiom requires he who runs after 2 hares will catch neither. A real wolf can catch both. I see. So what are you trying to say, seeing as how I'm currently handling 2 cases? Suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn you.
You know, you didn't really.
This dude has a bird's nest? That's so cute. It's a fireplace.
It's a fireplace, and by the looks of it, I don't think it's been used recently. Sorry, I was blowing my nose.
So I was right. Yes, I can't say I see anything unusual about it.
I mean, that's what I would expect. It's just, you don't know until you know.
2 gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here. He just pushes them off. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have an equally as lovely name.
Miles Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that rare.
Passion flowers. That's a rather unusual name.
It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ.
Christ! Yeah, I guess Jesus does exist in this game, huh?
Why wouldn't he?
I guess, yeah.
There's no, like, magic in this game. I mean, there's magic, but there's not, you know, like,
It's always weird when, like, games, like, how they decide to canonize Christian themes. Because sometimes you just wonder, like, I just never expected Jesus to appear in a Phoenix Wright game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect Jesus to appear in fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Okay,
so
that I fully expected.
No. After that, I was like, it doesn't surprise me anymore when they talk about Jesus Christ in media. You know about this, Allie. Don't stare at me like that. You already know.
I don't know if you've noticed, but in my FE script, I make sure I don't use words like "geez" because I never want to canonize.
I think you can use the word "geez" without canonizing Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
Well, you can just say "gosh" or "golly" instead, which is
But like, I know that in real life it comes from the term Jesus, but like, I feel like there's a lot of things in language that you do use in the script that if you knew the origin of, you'd be like, oh, that's also something I don't want to canonize.
Okay, well, Jesus is a little too close for me, and I think about it every time, so.
I never think about it.
As they say, you learn something new every day. Okay. Hey, Francisca, do you have something to say about the passion flowers? Do you think passion could flower between us?
Allie made a good point. If your characters are speaking English, then you are canonizing England.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But that I view more as just localization and just what they say and speak.
Well, then couldn't G's also just be localization?
I guess, but then in that case, maybe they should just say, vet, or vet, or something like that. Would that make more sense? But that would sound stupid.
I actually did like think about that once, but no, they just say her name. Anyways, passion flowers. They are a most beautiful flower.
Indeed, they're a magnificent species. I don't know. I feel like if I watched, say, something like Lord of the Rings, and then Gandalf is just like, oh, jeez, come on.
Well, yeah, that's just out of character for Gandalf.
Okay, but if, like, the dwarf was like, jeez, I was just going to... I've been like, what the fuck? What are you talking? Jeez. Come on. It feels like certain things have a level of world building that just goes like, we're going to make this its own thing, and we're gonna study language carefully enough. And I just feel like if you put G's in your writing, it's like, well, it's okay. The world building doesn't need to be like crazy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want everyone to be like, oh, Mill.
Oh, MILF.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, no.
Fucking Sam and Sarah walks in the alley. All right.
Oh, MILF.
We're making progress tonight.
We were for a bit there. Indeed, they're a magnificent species.
But always be mindful of the fact that beautiful flowers have painful thorns.
Always be mindful of the fact that Francisca has no joke timing. I suppose that advice comes from a woman with a whip is the best heeded.
Yeah, well, the thorns of the rose are the best part. It's a statue of the founder of Cordopia, Primi Duve. Because it's the national treasure, I've heard that only a few are allowed access to it.
That's exactly right, even when we're not allowed to touch it. Not without the ambassador's permission, anyway. If we ever lay a single finger on it, bam! It's instant jail time. Understood. So it's that precious of a national treasure that a single touch can lead to an arrest. You had a sense that there's something very off about the statue. What is the source of this unease I feel? That reminds me in New Vegas, how there's this statue honoring, like, veterans of a war, and if you shoot the statue, the guy in front of it goes, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And he just starts shooting you. This must be the Ambassador Alba's desk.
This must be Ambassador Alba's desk.
Get wrecked. His notebook is open to the desk. He must have been in the middle of some important work. Sapling growth log. It finally sprouted today.
Funny, it doesn't look like important work to me.
Okay. Can I look at the birds? No.
So I guess it's the statue, maybe, and the body. Oh, and the knives.
I did the statue. Where are the knives?
Okay,
oh, yeah, the knives. Yeah, alright.
Did you do the statue? I thought you might have done something.
There's some weapons on display on the wall. A crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. These must be the counterparts of the Bobbley's knives, which means that the blades inside these scabbards should match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Cochin. I won't blubber herbert herber derber. Why is there a weapon on display in a place like this?
I wonder why there are no whips on display here.
Francisca meets Willow. Hello, child. It's a Steel Samurai's primary weapon, the samurai spear. Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for the thing. It's sleek and shiny, just like my heart. It comes at you like whoosh. When you hold it, you just want to live life like bam. You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it is just as Larry says, the spear is quite the symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting the point straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced the spear is up to the task.
Oh, it got bent like the fucking, like in 1-3.
What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off into space. Oh, I get it. Tell you what, I'll tell you the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine. Did I say anything about wanting one? Maybe we can shut him up if I show him this piece of evidence. That will point something off about the spear. Do I have the spear on me? No.
What about the picture? Is, like, maybe the spear's in the picture?
No.
No.
Maybe it's in the...
Oh, maybe it's because it's drawn in the autograph.
Yeah. To Mr. Edgeworth,
Steel Samurai Daddy.
Daddy. Married man of near old Tokyo.
So you gotta, like, show that to him instead? Or, I mean, maybe you deduce it, I don't know.
Yeah, let's try just showing it to him first.
It doesn't, I mean, that doesn't deal damage. Although, I guess if you show him the autograph, it's the same, just the same dialogue, right? Yeah. So I guess you just gotta deduce it.
Sure.
I don't think you should need a drawing of a functioning spear to deduce that a bent spear isn't gonna work properly, but...
To be fair, there have been very, very strange weapons in human history, and some of them have included, like, weird shit like this, like bent spears, scimitars, you know, stuff that bends when you think it probably shouldn't. Larry, about the spear. Oh, are you feeling it? Bam! Thought there was something strange about the spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me, or is the spear a bit bent? Oh, what? No way, it's exactly as it should be, yo. I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Now take a good look at this, which you drew with your own hands. You can see that the spear is clearly of a different shape, and you are a master artist, Larry. Ah! Thank you. That was a really nice compliment, but ah! What do you have to say to that? I'm sorry. When I hold the spear in my hands, all of a sudden it feels super powerful. And then during practice, I was spinning around and around, and bam, it hit the wall.
You unbelievable! This is an embassy!
Well, but I've always been like that, ever since I was a kid. One time on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless, hot-blooded man-child. Larry, clarify that for me, will you? Okay, so it was some field trip, and I began to shadow fight with myself. Not that! I meant what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall. Oh, that's no biggie. It's not like I licked a hole or anything. It's not what I'm asking, Larry. A samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend. Man, Edgy, you're so naive. What? Where did that come from? Oh, I keep calling it the samurai spear, but it's not real. You can't fight, really, someone with it. Because it's hollow on the inside. You can hit it against practically anything it would bend. Is that so? Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take it the wrong way. I just think that's part of your personality is cute.
I see. Your friendship truly is something special, Miles Edgeworth.
Ugh, that's not friendship. It's utter humiliation. Okay. Cool. Now we can examine the knives.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess there's nothing unusual about this area.
You didn't, yeah.
Knives adorned with the flowers are on display here. I suspect that these are the counterparts of the Babalese knives. The blades of these knives should match the blades of the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. But one of the knives is missing its blade. Let's see if the two pieces, the blade and the handle, fit each other.
Wow, great animation budget. I mean, it would appear that they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly.
Edgeworth, you aren't wearing gloves. No. You picked up that bloody knife and shoved it into something else. Yes. On top of tampering evidence, you just got a shit ton of someone else's blood on your hands. Yes.
And you left fingerprints.
Big fingerprints.
Arrest him.
Then this means that an Alabastian knife did find its way into Bobble. But how? Okay.
So now the body? Oh, and that shit.
There are
decorative plants here as well. This room is overflowing with nature.
Humans used to live in nature.
Humans used to live...
Humans used to live, they stopped doing it in the grandeur of nature long ago. That's almost poetic in a way. I believe I'm not mistaken in thinking that these people truly love nature.
This coming from a man who loves shows featuring costumed actors.
Oh, she just had to go there again, didn't she?
How dare you like media, you stupid fool.
Oh yeah, well, let's talk about your hobbies, Francisca. Ha! I don't
whip.
have any.
Well, there's whipping and whipping and whipping. And...
There was a grandfather clock just like one of these early in the Babalese embassy. You know, symmetry is a fine thing, but these interior designs really suffer from it.
Really? I think this clock actually fits the room quite well. Are you head patting me with your finger?
Yes. Are you consoling me because I don't have any hobbies? Yes. I suppose the wood does suit the all-natural atmosphere of this room.
Its design and the material it's made of strikes a good balance with the plants.
Hey, you two, now's not the time to be talking about interior decorating, you know. Hurry up and save me.
Be quiet.
Ah!
This is all a part of my elite investigation. All you need to do is be quiet and watch.
Edward, stop fucking poking my head. Actually, I do believe Lara has a point for once.
What is that plant supposed to be?
Francisca, can't you see it's supposed to be the likeness of Ambassador Alba?
Miles Edgeworth, as a subordinate, you have a lot of nerve telling me what to think. I look forward to your next salary assessment next month.
You are deluding yourself if you think you have any control over that.
So is the body.
Man, fine. I won't rest. This is the murder weapon in this case, maybe.
There's blood on the blade. It's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it?
Would you expect it? Steel Samurai's daddy's second weapon.
Steel Samurai what?
Well, I call it his secondary because although he uses the swords in most of his battles, it's his trusty samurai spear that he turns to in a real fight.
You sure know quite a bit about the Steel Samurai.
That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. And maybe I occasionally watch it with Phoenix. Do you now? No! I didn't say that.
Eat cereal together in the morning, and no.
And drink your coffee on the porch, on the porch swing, and fall asleep in each other's arms.
He wouldn't. He would actually say, "It's not because I watch it in the mornings with that man."
That man. The owner of the sword is the Steel Samurai. In other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental it is proving his innocence.
You think that'd be better than the Ethereal Straight Sword?
Looks kind of shitty, honestly. It looks like a regular longsword.
Okay.
What is he holding? It looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It would appear that directions on how to reach this room were written by hand. There's something written on the back as well.
I'd like you to steal the primitive statue in this room. What is that supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that?
If I had to guess from the text, I would say that this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. Just who is this person that requested the thief of the primitive statue? Boot!
There's not a single shred of fashion sense in Damask's costume.
Well, at least I can appreciate the great effort he must have put into making it, and the great effort Ross took into stealing his design when he made Lodestar.
Oh, I guess that was Lodestar, huh?
It's not actually Lodestar, but they do look similar.
Oh. You two don't know? You can buy this costume almost anywhere now.
It's being sold since when?
Since around New Year's, the streets are practically flooded with them. Turns out Damask is a lot more popular than I thought he'd be. Something about Phantom Thieves.
This feels like a commentary on the game. Like, yeah, we just made this guy. We didn't expect him to be popular, but he was.
Is he?
I don't know.
I can't believe that foolish fool would dress in a fool's clothing to act foolishly.
We got your point about the foolish is back, Francisca. We got your point about 3 foolish is back. That was a lame joke, Edgeworth.
I mean, I know that there are a lot of people that are into, like, the guy who is the mask, because he's like a little cute little soft boy.
He is.
I don't know about the actual. Also, we already read this.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
I think so.
Yes.
Like probably the blood under the head.
I suppose this was the wrapping cloth the Mask 2
Especially if it
used
was
to
the
carry
wrapping
stolen
cloth Mask
gold.
2 used to carry the stolen goods, but there's nothing wrapped in it now.
Jeez.
I guess he never did manage to get his hands on whatever it was he was out to steal.
They need to expand the size of the text name so I can read it, because I'm blind.
See, that's just where my eyes go first whenever a box appears.
Mine
or
don't.
whenever a line advances. It's probably the blood under the head.
I thought that the Mask had quit the business.
This guy, he's just a copycat using the name. A phony successor. He is just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashino.
Casino? Casino?
Sheena?
Casino.
Oh, Casino.
Casino. Yeah,
Okay.
Casino. Casino Royale.
He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined that this guy is the real Damask too.
The cause of death appears to be the loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems that he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. Okay.
Do we have a bloody object that is bludgeoning?
Spear, maybe?
No.
Nah.
I guess you could use a sword sideways, but probably not.
Be much easier to just stab him. The statue,
Yeah.
maybe?
Actually,
If it's the fake one, it's not made of solid gold, which means it's not as heavy.
still, can you check it? Like, do you get a closer look at it? Oh, you just get that feel. I mean, I guess maybe the cloth couldn't have been for the blood. I don't know. I mean, there's no way to prove it right now.
If someone was there for the fire, it was burned a little bit. You know, that would have been a cool, little clue if one was, pristine and one was burned, but the burned one was over here. I guess that would have been a little obvious, but...
Yeah.
Kind of pointless, too.
Is there anything else? The hat, maybe?
That's why I checked.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about the mask?
No.
Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, okay, we're done
Okay.
here. Now we're to deduce.
So we gotta show something to someone, don't we? Wasn't there something about... Oh, I think he wanted to show the sword to Larry because he's the Steel Samurai.
Sure. Hey, Larry, got a sword for you. Actually,
Oh, it's just.
Larry, about the samurai sword that was used as the murder weapon. Oh, that! Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in this room, you know.
yes, apparently you did.
Yeah, well, I totally forgot about it and left it behind when I left afterwards. You want to talk about shock? I was the most shocked of all when I heard it killed someone. Shocked!
Foolish fool, looking especially foolish for foolishly stating such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you? Who would believe such a tale?
Sorry, Miss Von Karma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry. Edgy, you believe me? I just knew that a friendship is something special. Anyway, even if Larry had simply forgotten the sword and left it behind, that in no way clears his name, which means that I will have to prove his innocence from a different angle.
Okay.
I mean, like, you could deduce, hey, it was bludgeoning, but the murder weapon is a sword.
Can I present? I can present. Hey, you have anything to say about my badge? If it's bad, I'm wondering if you might be able to tell me something about this.
Oh, sorry, I don't give a hoot about things that aren't related to the Yatagarasu. Heh, it looks like nothing about you has changed in these 7 years, Daughter of Von Karma, you're still just a sapling of a prosecutor, so... I'll have you know that I've already grown into a stately tree of a prosecutor. Yeah, is that right?
Is he just toying with Francisca? Seems to be enjoying this quite a bit.
Yeah, I think you deduce on the blood splatter that a sword wouldn't do that. So he clutched his note as he went about his business. He was a poor excuse for a criminal. On top of which, he was only following in someone else's footsteps. What a small fry. I've been a detective for a long time. I can see straight through these people.
Really has a different air about him. Now, I feel like Gumshoe could understand that and be a little bit more like Detective Bad.
I don't know if we're gonna get more out of him. I think, like, it's either my idea or I'm stupid.
What was your idea again?
You deduce on the blood splatter that bludgeoning couldn't be done with the sword.
That's fair. Can I even deduce?
Oh,
No.
I guess you've already checked the area, but then why the fuck? Alright, well... Maybe it's just something with the statue that you can deduce? Is there that dialogue if you check it? No, there's still something here.
Okay. Podium? No.
Well, it might be a deduce is the thing. You know, what's the other statue look like? I bet there's a difference between them other than the burn marks.
There is.
This one's more hunched over.
It's hunched over.
Yeah.
Can you check
This
it?
one's like falling on their blade. No, actually, no, they're about the same.
It's too loopy.
Their right hand is over top. This one, it looks like their left hand is over top.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's what you gotta deduce actually. Which is like insane. Like, good on you noticing that.
I'm good at noticing handedness, which is because I'm a lefty.
Yeah, makes sense.
No. There's clearly a contradiction here. Yes, I believe you're right.
It's right there in your logic.
Apparently I was mistaken. That sure looks like fun, Edgy. Well, it's not. Let's not forget for whose sake I'm suffering. I hope you're considering that.
Okay, there's a missing loopy. Like, you see the little loopy to the right of the sword? The other statue has a loopy to the left of it. But
Do
there's
they?
not a loopy on this one. Oh, I guess it's just the angle, because it's mirrored.
Yeah. So they are mirrored. That is for sure a thing.
But if they're mirrored...
Then whichever one has the proper facing loopy is the one that's real.
Then why are the flowers? No. If you look at the picture, there's gotta be something with this, right?
I mean, you already said it. They're mirrored. That's the difference.
But pointing out the hands didn't work.
Well, the loopy is most certainly a thing, so I don't know. Try this. Does it matter pointing out that there's a...
Well, you gotta point out something.
No.
Because, like, there is evidence left here. Unless it's just, like, checking the flower in the background. I'm gonna be angry if that's it.
I've already done this.
Oh, yeah.
Is the flower different?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think passion flowers are the same flower.
Is it a full flower? Yes.
Yeah. It looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be something with the statue, but I don't know what. It's gotta be a deduce, like... Oh, maybe the is the thing on the head? Can you check the picture? Of the other one. You can't really see it. No, wait. No, it is mirrored.
Yeah, it's mirrored. Yeah, that's definitely a difference. So it's mirrored.
Because I was thinking maybe it wasn't mirrored, and then it's like, oh, this is all mirrored, but that part isn't. What the fuck?
Actually,
I mean, maybe...
check the embassy guide. No.
Is there another page?
Nope.
It just goes between those two.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there's a fingerprint, and that's why. And it's like the thing with like only one being able to touch it.
Well, we can't just.
Wait, check the other one again. I think I might have noticed something. I thought it might have been something with the podium, but it looks the same on the podium.
Yep.
The knives are removed from the wall, but there's not an extra knife over here.
No, the knives are a different point, because when you interact with the knives right now, it'll be like, oh, we're not close enough to look at them.
Yeah.
It could be the thing on the chest, like that kind of looks like a flower, and maybe it's like they both have a flower, but like what does that prove? It doesn't prove anything. I don't think it's something with the podium. It looks the same as if it were burned. The sword looks similar enough. Oh, wait, check the photo of the Steel Samurai and Alba.
That's a good point.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of weird.
Just a little bit. Hey, Larry, why is this statue turned around? We're over here looking for subtlety. This thing's just like, lol.
Yeah.
Look at this photo and tell me what you find odd about this scene,
Listen,
Miss Von Karma.
after the answer for that blue badger was the fucking belt buckle was mirrored, like, I'll fucking believe it's a minor detail. The apparent joy on the ambassador's face as he shakes that top knot's hand.
That's not it. I was trying to point out that the statue in the photo is facing a different way.
You're right.
The statue is a nation's treasure. As such, only the ambassador on the secretariat level is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched the statue around the time of the crime. Arrest that man.
Yeah, it's like, oh good, Edgy, you got me in another crime.
Guess that about wraps up my investigation. That's...
Ah.
Hey, Pink Princess, how you feeling? Still feeling ill?
Here we go, it's old bag. It's like, oh, Edgy! And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork.
Yep. And so the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Albastian embassy a visit. I believe I need to speak with her as well.
I mean, it would be refreshing if they didn't do the exact same joke, like maybe it's Lada or something. But...
I hope it's just someone completely different.
Yeah, like it's actually just like not a character that we already know.
Or if they, who haven't they done yet as a female character?
I mean, they had Lada in the background. What if it was just fucking Maya?
That would be amazing. But that wouldn't make any sense. Actually, maybe it would.
She would, right?
Miss Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you.
She wouldn't be silent this far.
God damn it.
Eat.
The fucking holy shit! That boob plate armor.
Hey,
Oh,
I think
God.
I can make my statue bust joke now. This must be what they
Sure
call
can.
fate. How could this happen 2 days in a row? Go ask Allie. He's like, hey, Allie, look, I found a girl with huge boobs.
Hey, Allie, look, I found a girl with huge boobs. I'm guessing you caught that. I was gonna
Yeah,
ask, but then
yeah.
you laughed. Okay.
What the? Aren't you Miss Oldbag? Why are you so surprised? So you're the one that got to play the Steel Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize until now. You are acquaintances with Larry? Yes, we worked at the same company for a little while, you know. That's why it's okay, my edgy poo. You don't need to be jealous. I was in the next room, you know, trying to get in some beauty sleep. It was so noisy here I couldn't fall asleep, so I came over to complain.
Please tell me that she touched the statue and she's going to federal prison.
So imagine my shock when I saw my precious edgy poo waiting here for me. I mean, who could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this? Guess I misjudged you, edgy poo.
You misjudged him?
Thought he was trying to avoid me, you know. There was so much judgment on your part, I was precisely what I was trying to do. But it looks like the winds have shifted. He's willing to be chased after all. I'm simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, my edgy poo. I'll chase you forever to the ends of the earth.
Isn't that just peachy?
This is one of those rare times when Francisca and I actually see eye to eye. Now then, what are you doing here? He has enormous yaoi hands that he can't control, but even now he's trying to not touch the boob. I thought you were... Uh-oh. He's like, no, please, stop, finger. I thought you were working Gatewaterland as a pink badger.
What are you talking about? That was ages ago. That was yesterday. Look, I worked at Global Studios before, a long time ago, right?
Well, they called me up this morning, kind of out of the blue, actually.
They called you?
Apparently, the girl who plays the Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold. Happened so suddenly, so they called me in here to be her last-minute replacement. Because designers didn't want to design another character.
Shh.
Did they not have enough people on the staff at that studio?
I really couldn't say no, so here I am, playing the role of the heroine. Instead of that Mindy girl, I mean.
I mean, it looks like you took heroin, so...
But the poor girl, I feel bad for her. Because they let me stand in for her. She's going to have a terrible time when she returns. And I'm not exactly great at reading, and strange audiences tripping over this because I tell you, they really are just a bunch of simpletons.
Hey, I've got a question. Next time she has a line, can you say "Yufu" at one point while you're doing the voice? Thank you. You're a rather lively old lady.
So basically you received the stand-in request this morning, correct?
You got it. If you need to see it, I've got it right here. Look.
Well, I guess not. It appears that she is telling the truth.
I tell you, my fine acting moved the entire audience to tears.
Yes, tears of laughter, as I recall.
Being famous here has its problems, too, you know. Here, look at this.
Hmm?
It's a letter from a stalker.
Holy shit.
I was just taking my break when I found this stuck under the door of my room.
No, this is this is Larry spending Mindy wrong, which he said was the name of the
Yeah.
the last girl.
Yeah. His cursive makes it look like Mendy.
Oh my god.
Kiara, I'll be descending on you from above tonight. You're loving Bianca.
Oh, I thought you were to say your Red Knight.
She accidentally makes fucking, I don't know, your loving knight somehow looks like red. Kira's like, guys, the red knight's gonna descend. We have to prepare. Bianca, did you hear about this? Ooh, yeah, I did hear about that. Huh, what do you suppose that's all about? I don't know, but I'm worried.
And then Bianca's playing into it. She's like, worried. You should be. You think?
Oof. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kind of things. Look at what it says. Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving knight. How absolutely revolting. I mean, you'd think you could have gotten my name right. There's no accent in my name. Wait, this horrible handwriting. Where have I seen this before? But now that you're here, Edgy Poo, I feel 100% safe. Where do I factor into this? You'd bust the evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you, Edgy Poo?
I love her logic where she's like, oh god, this stalker creeps me out. I'm gonna be a stalker to feel better about this.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the logic of a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true.
It's okay for girls to stalk. It's not okay for boys to stalk.
I mean, like, here's the thing. In a lot of the cases where people say, oh, reverse the roles, it really, like, doesn't work that way. This is a case, though, where if they did, that this character would have gotten fucking, like, never would have appeared again after the first game.
Well, if you allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way. See, but you say, like, if you reverse the roles, it's still disgusting. That's because you're sane. There's people who are not sane and think if you reverse the roles, it suddenly becomes okay. I'll gladly dispatch a detective to your house later. Oh, come on, Edgy Poo. Stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get. What were you doing at the time of the crime? My crime? What? After the show was over, I've had nothing but free time on my hands. So I used the fireplace in the room next door to keep my bad hip warm.
Oh, god.
Yeah, so he was at the other.
But that's the room next door.
Oh.
So I think that he wasn't at the other embassy, he was just at the wrong room in this embassy.
Yeah.
Well, a murder occurred in the room right next to yours.
Is that right? Oh, Edgy Poo, I'm so scared. Hold me. Caress me.
Yeah, that wouldn't fly.
If you could please not cling onto my personage.
Persona. In any case, I take it then that you failed to show up at Ambassador Alba's speech.
Oh, that? No, I didn't go. I mean, I may have heard the heart of a young, tender maiden. But my body just refused to cooperate at times. Since the show ended, my hips started acting up and got stiff. I couldn't move at all. Can you provide proof of your condition? Oh, you just go on ahead and ask the doctors in the infirmary. They're the ones who carried me from the theater all the way to the embassy. I have to admit the thought of her not being able to leave the room is rather pleasant. Missile! Is that you?
Yeah, I think it's Missile.
Prosecutor Von Karma, I've brought the police dog as you requested, sir.
By the way, I just went for the metal detector right away, so I've technically never seen Missile.
Missile's the best character in the entire series.
Good work. You may leave now, officer.
This dog.
Is a fucked up, like, compressed sound. I requested the assistance of a dog in our search of the Yatagarasu.
Looks like you got dog. Fuck, it looks like you guys have some pretty bright dogs in this country, too. You're a real cutie, aren't you? Yeah, that's a good boy.
That's the police dog Gumshoe's been taking care of. I think its name is Missile.
You're such a good boy.
What a fitting name for a police dog that dashes out in front and attacks.
That action alone isn't exactly what's going to help solve this case for us, you know. Best dog.
Now, Missile, I want you to find some clues. Go!
I wonder if
I don't think it's how
Missile is...
police dogs work, Francisca.
Actually, wait a minute.
What's up?
Okay, so soon he's about to lose his license. So Missile's about, like, 3 to 4 years old-ish.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be, like, 11 by the time Missile's probably dead.
Yeah, I mean...
Not at 11, but, like definitely a couple years later.
Here's the thing. A lot of characters that don't appear again, it's like, okay, they just decided not to pull that one out. But there are some, like Missile, or Wendy Oldbag, who probably died of old age between the time.
Okay, Wendy Oldbag definitely is probably still alive. Wendy Oldbag isn't that old.
Like, what is
Check
she?
the check.
It's
the
question marks is the joke. I'm pretty
Is
sure.
it now?
I'm pretty sure it's question marks.
Because she won't tell you.
Yeah.
She doesn't have her name in the fucking profile.
Ex-security lady.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I guess we never got to see that until now.
Casino. Bad. 60 years old. He's
What-
getting up
what-
there.
Chad. Not that. Don't take that out of context. Talk about that guy, not Larry.
I'm older than Larry Butts right now at this current point in
Yeah,
time. But yeah, Larry Butts is older than me. Wait,
It's actually
wait, hold up.
It's,
25.
it's actually
Is that right?
offensive that I'm younger than him because he's such a fool.
Is that
He's
right?
such a
He's only
goof.
25 at this point in time?
I think so.
I guess he would
think
be. Yeah,
I think that's
that
right.
checks out.
Okay, so Alba is a boy type. Okay.
Yes, he's a boy. We've said that.
Well, we weren't sure. Lang's 27.
Long Lang.
We live in a society where blah blah blah.
Alright, where's you don't own an air fryer, man? There he is.
Clearly, you don't own an air fryer.
Clearly, you're hilarious.
I had to explain after that session that I didn't just think everything was really funny. to Allie.
Yeah.
I already read the line.
You want to do missile?
I don't think there's any missile lines to do. Good dog, you're quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain someone I know. Now, what do we have here? What is this? It looks like a small hot dog, but...
Wait, Francisca, isn't that an official samurai dog? She's like, what the
Miles
fuck is
Edgeworth will
wrong
kill
with you?
Oh
Yes!
my
the-
God!
The best part of Missile! Anytime he finds hot dog, he goes insane.
That's the face! Like, they use the same face!
Yeah, they use
Oh,
the exact same face.
That is a demon!
Yeah, it's great.
He ate it!
It is
I wonder
the
if it's
funniest
alright.
scene of the first game. Because he smells Larry Butts' hot dog stand, and he eats every single one. He goes, rah, rah. It's like, it's so fucking funny.
That face is insane.
It's just a meat substance snack featuring the Steel Samurai. I'm sure it'll be fun.
That's quite a bit of information you gathered there in a single quick glance.
We should really be focusing on why there was a Steel Samurai dog in the first place.
It looks like that snack wasn't all missile found.
Oh, and what do we have here?
It appears to be a lady's undershirt. I wonder if Ambassador Alba might have an interest in... Excuse me, Francisca. First the fruitcake line.
Yeah, you know, what's wrong with the little bit of Alba cross-dressing? You weren't sure if he was a guy for a little bit there.
No. The concern is Francisca is bringing it up like, I wonder. It doesn't actually offend me or anything. It just caught me off guard.
I somehow doubt that. It doesn't look like the shirt would even fit him. A samurai dog and a lady's undershirt. What are these two items doing in a room like this? Well, clearly Larry was trying to climb down one ceiling. It looks like Larry kind of has a Chad chin going on in the background over there. From this angle, like, if you didn't know nothing about his character and you just saw that, you'd be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Who's
like,
that Chad?
This guy's a chat. Have you seen that clip where it's like Derma and he's like reading chat and he reads a message that's like, this guy's a Chad, and he reads that out and he's like, he looks at the camera and he looks really happy and he's like, whoa, really?
Yeah, I have.
Fucking love that clip.
Given the circumstances, the lady's undershirt can only belong to one person. As opposed to get this over with and ask the owner of said undershirt about it. Missile, what do you know about this?
He was a much bigger help than I thought he would be.
Yes, however, there are a few aspects I don't understand about what he found.
In that case, you should keep on investigating until you do understand. Now, my subordinate, continue with the investigation.
Alright, I will. It is with great dread that I proceed and go do what I must to solve the case.
You know, it must be Lang's because he fucks, you know?
You know what?
But he's gay, so...
I don't actually see Lang as a guy who fucks, and that's not because he can't get it if he wanted it.
It's just that he's like Fred from Scooby-Doo. He's too much of an idiot to actually want to go for it. Be like,
I
ha!
don't know.
Women? Get out of my way, I have a case to solve. Like, he's definitely 5%.
I'm sure I could find a lot of images and text documents that suggest otherwise. Why are
I'm
you...
sure you could.
I
Larry, I
don't
wonder if
think
you might
it's
know what this
hilarious.
is. That was good and fast forward.
Yeah, he's just not looking at shit.
Yeah. I guess old bag?
It would
She's-
probably belong to the one woman here who...
I assumed Larry had it, actually.
Well, if you like read the description of it, and that's like what Edgeworth said too.
If you could please take a look at this at your brown-colored undershirt. Oh, Edgy Poo, what is the meaning of this? Why did you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask. I would have gladly given you as many as you'd like. Thanks, but no thanks. The shirt was found here at the crime scene. Come now, why don't you just confess and explain what it's doing here? I know nothing I tell you. What? Oh, I admit that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt. But I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know. And that pink princess costume is like being in a sauna. And on top of that, I get fingered as a suspect.
Don't.
Yes, I know, but you're too cruel, Edgy Poo. I know that's
No,
the line.
I'm telling Old Bag not to, not you.
Yeah, please. Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room? Of course I am. If I had been the one to find the body, who do you think I would have been as calm and relaxed as I am? I tell you, it's always like this. It's always my fault. And some tabloid article missing? They're missing. Speaking of missing, there's the matter of my youth who did not love me when we got married, and then said to propose to him and say sure as everybody deserve it. And then, will you marry me? Honestly, men these days. Well, I don't believe she's lying about her actions, so I can safely assume she really was drying her shirt by the fireplace in her break. And somehow the undershirt managed to move from the next room into this one. I assume the samurai dog was also yours? Oh, that brilliant mind of yours. You really can't see through everything about me. And so the feeling of dread continues, but I suppose I should ask for more details. Dogs. That samurai dog was yours, wasn't it? Oh, of course, I'm forever yours, my edgy wedgy poo. If you could just stick to what I asked you for. Edgy, are you Miss Old Bag? No! You really don't change, do you? Will you learn to take a joke? Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy.
A present?
Studio bigwigs are basically telling us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand out the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them into the pushcart just to move them all. The studio guys should deliver these things by themselves, right, Edgy? So, did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff as per your instructions? Hey, Edgy, don't just ignore me and my question. Are you gonna stick up for me? About that. See, after the show, I went to rest a spell in the dressing room. What happened to my voice? Oh, no. Because of my bad hip, you know. And there they were, the samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor.
I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show.
Well, if by preparation you mean sampling them as well. Excuse me. Oh, I tried one and thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they're for a kids show, the taste was probably for kids too. But they were so good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes.
Holy shit.
As I sat there by roaring fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, this is... They all went to your boobs, I guess. What is it now? Oh, I know. I bet you want a box too, don't you, my Poo? Genuinely, it would probably taste pretty good. Oh, who am I to give you them? But I'll only give you one. The rest are all for me. Evidence. Samurai dogs forced onto me.
It does? Okay.
the amount of text for that.
Looks like the lesson for today is that when the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their masks, they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers.
Yes.
So you probably have to... Can you logic the fire now?
Do, 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 do. Bing, bing, wahoo. There is no trace of this room's fireplace being used.
And your point is?
Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to the fireplace. At least according to Larry. This is a contradiction of facts, is it not?
Are you sure he wasn't just disoriented or something up on that roof?
There is testimony from an investigator that puts Larry at this particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from the fireplace went?
I see. So what you're proposing is this. The smoke that came out of the chimney was actually from Miss Oldbag's fire. So basically, the fireplaces of neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you were implying?
Interesting. That wasn't what I was expecting, but that makes sense.
It does, yeah.
Precisely.
And then, I guess? I don't know how, but, I mean...
The lady's undershirt that Missile found. Ah!
Why are you getting all excited over holding onto a lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncouth sea slug! If you know the owner of said undershirt, then hurry up and return it to her already.
You had it all wrong. This is evidence. And the owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet, despite that, Missile found it in the fireplace of this room. This lady's undershirt.
Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through a solid brick wall?
Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in this room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other.
Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order.
There's an X on the back wall of this fireplace.
It's a tinted rock!
Let's see if I can't get a better look at it.
But
What
in the...
Why would they put an X on the back of it? That just makes
I
it
don't
obvious. The wall separating this room's fireplace and the next room's fireplace apparently turns. As I suspected, this fireplace does indeed connect this room to the neighboring room.
The neighboring room?
There appears to be nothing particular about the next room. But the fact that there is nothing special about the next room isn't what's important. It's the fact that there is a secret passageway through the room's fireplace. You have to crawl through ashes? Ew.
We now know that the fireplace connects the two rooms. But how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name the old lady as Damath's killer now, are you?
No, she couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip. So she could not have made this one, or she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with Damask 2's murder. Cool. It would appear that the answer has made itself known. You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Why are you messing up with my case? Why were you just standing there the entire time doing nothing? I was thinking. Screw you. Bring it on, I'm ready to counter any argument you may have. Very well then, if you are prepared. I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me. Good, I'm counting on you, Edgy. Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is. My lie? I know that there is still something you are keeping from the rest of us. What's wrong with you? Why is it you won't believe me no matter what I say, Edgy? Curse you, I should just hurry up and die already if that's how it's gonna be. I'll confess to every murder in the whole world, and then kill myself.
Oh my...
And throw everything into mass confusion.
Larry.
You made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. Larry, I only have one thing to say to you. Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who is ready to die is strong-willed, you know.
Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you've caused. I only ask that you do not lie to me. If you cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you. Edgy. Although allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocents in this case, and that I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this. All right, this time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened? What didn't happen? The works. Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as what you did on the roof tonight. After the show, I left the pushcart at the Rose Garden and came to the embassy. Then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until the next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that one is a rare thing, you know. So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try. Larry, I thought I'd just finished telling you not to lie anymore. But it's kind of ultra embarrassing. And what exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me? Edgy man, I just said it was embarrassing, so of course I can't just blurt it out. What a time for Discord to die.
Hi.
Yeah, Discord died. I don't know how much of that you missed.
I missed I mean, I don't know actually where you are.
Pop. You just said something about ultra embarrassing.
I got half this line.
Hey, you're just gonna have to read it out to me.
As your superior, I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie.
I have every intention to do so, for I'm not about to waste time on such a trifling matter. Rebut. Oh. Larry Buttle.
I think you have to press the picture part.
Yeah. Hold it. So you shook hands with the ambassador of the Kingdom of Alabast, did you? Yeah, can you believe it? I did something really cool for a change. But honestly speaking, there's nothing interesting about shaking some guy's hand. Hey there, are you disrespecting another country and their very own embassy? Are you disrespecting what it feels like, the good power of shaking hands with a man?
As someone with roots in this country, I'm feeling nothing but incredible shame at this second.
Agreed. I apologize for his inconsiderate words. Now, Larry, please continue. What's with all of you? Keep saying that kind of thing, and I'll tell you only lies. You've already been telling us nothing but lies, so let's get a move on. All right, already. You don't need to glare at me like that, Edgy.
I mean, probably press on what he did in the free time.
He's probably going to be super vague, I'm guessing, and Von Karma's going to whip him for being vague. Larry, I want you to listen very carefully and take this to heart. The whole point of your life is to cause misery and pain to everyone you encounter. I know, I get it. I'm totally the bad guy again. I thought you were his friend. Don't you think that was a bit harsh? Lang Z says, true friends are bosom friends. If you are in trouble, call on your bosom friend whose shoulder you can cry on. Hey, bosom buddy, I hope you're listening carefully to my testimony. Has it crossed your pea-shaped brain yet that Agent Lang is only out to arrest you, Larry? Now then. Went around the embassy, and then what happened?
Okay. I think you could press this too. Like, that seems potentially like maybe he knew about the hidden wall because he says a chimney like that.
Maybe. I think I have to let my poor cat upstairs. She's been sleeping on the chair here for a while. I think she wants up.
Okay, Cat is now up the stairs. That's why I spotted the chimney. A chimney's a rare thing, you know. So I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try. Larry's hurting my throat. Do you want to do Larry instead?
Sure. Although if you want to stop before 4, that's also fine.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Hmm.
I won't do as good a Larry impression, but that's fine.
Do I do a good Larry impression? Is that what Larry sounds like?
It's like, yeah, I mean, basically just Harry from Custom Robo, yeah.
Yeah, kind of, I guess. Yeah, sure, let's try this one.
Oh.
You suddenly wanted to play Santa.
Oh, well, actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already. That was down at Gourd Lake.
I appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me. Sounds like you guys share a lot of history. Burger being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a felony to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down a family's chimney, after all. Actually, is it worth Yeah, raise an objection there. Actually, I believe in the case of this man, playing Santa is actually quite a big deal. I'm saying that your boy isn't exactly made up to be Santa-quality stuff. Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang.
Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean.
Tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to people all over the world?
Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know.
In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. I want you to tell me to whom you were delivering a present to.
I was delivering a present to a child not basking in the glow of love.
That must be the most elegant description of you I've ever heard, but a lie is still a lie.
You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that?
In any case, the person you wished to deliver a present to most certainly was this.
Mindy.
Is there a Mindy here?
I guess you might have to say Oldbag.
Yeah. Interesting taste you have there, Mr. Suspect.
Don't spread lies about me. I totally didn't want to see Miss Oldbag so much I'd try and go down a chimney. Ow. I advise you to stop right there in your bashing of a lady.
Well, I must admit that I, myself, hardly ever have the want to run into that lady. Or any lady. However, what if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression, then what? Define wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact.
Discord froze for a second, so I thought you crashed, but you're good. So that's why I said, oh.
And that fact is best summed up with this.
The stalker note.
Yes. Larry, I'd like for you to take a look at this piece of evidence, and apparently it's wrong because the health bar didn't disappear.
No way!
But...
It's not really all that important, is it? It's always like this. You're acting so high and mighty, and then you bully me. That's why I refuse to look at it. Be quiet and just take a look. Well, if you say so, Francie, but only because you say so.
Some people never change, even if their attitudes do change at the whim of women.
So what's up with that anyway?
Why, it's proof that you never even knew existed, of course.
Oh, is that all? Well, I don't need it right now, so I'll just give it back to you.
What?
I've got you on the ropes now, don't I?
Was that piece of evidence unrelated to the question at the hand? I need to think through this one more time. Anyway, it's actually that she was on sick. But I don't know how to prove that.
Do we have evidence for that? Oh, stand-in request. Yeah, we definitely have that.
Yeah,
okay.
Obviously. This is something the old lady received from an employer that night. The girl who normally plays the Pink Princess, Mindy, was it again? Seems that this man is quite taken with that actress.
That's not true, Edgy.
She's
the one with the hots for me. I just know it. I can feel her sexy beam piercing my heart when she's watching me.
I'm really glad I gave this character to you.
Sexy beam, I tell you. You filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiotic, cowardly apparition of a man. You haven't matured at all since we last met.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes. This guy, he's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. I suppose you could put it that way.
Hey, what the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. Why do you all have to make me out to be some sort of bad guy?
Every time he leans forward, I look at the like band around his chest. It reminds me of like deer legs, kind of like those half human, half animal hybrid things, like manticores or not minotaurs, kind of. Even though it's clearly not that. To return to the original topic, I propose that at least this much be made clear. That I acknowledge that Miss Mindy had fallen ill. Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That must we know for sure. Much.
Hey, Yeji, looks like I've got the hang of this court thing now.
But we're not in court at this moment.
Shut up. I see what's going on here. It just looks like what you do in court.
I guess old boys here still has something he'd like to say. Jesus Christ, Ross. Like Z says, until the root of your tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth.
Those two look like they could be related.
Maybe they are. You shouldn't form conclusions until everything is out in the open, which is why I listen. He is being awfully nice to Larry Butts.
Alright, then get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in a battle of wits.
Larry, have you forgotten that should I lose, your victory prize will be your arrest?
So you think all I wanted to do was go to visit Mindy? Well, I had dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. Then, to top it all off, I became a suspect in a murder. That's what you really meant. Why would I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose?
Hey!
Someone say something!
Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this, not as a confession, but as a testimony?
So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claim claiming my claim. Do you have a problem with that?
So it was you! You're my stalker! But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm the devoted type of woman, always wholly focused on one man, and looking at Edgipoo as alive, I still can't drop him and be unfaithful. No, I can't, although, especially when I was tempted by a teeny bit of love for my dear Edgipoo, with the passing colors, and to stay true to my beloved Edgipoo.
You know, she said in one dialogue line, like, that, like, where it, like, skips through really fast. She said that she doesn't know where her husband is, presumably because he, like, ran away because she's horrible.
Yeah.
But, like, that means that she is under the impression that she is a married woman. So that's actually not true. Anyways, I'm so inspired.
She is a married woman when it can get her benefits, and she is a not married woman when it can't.
Yeah, right.
I'm so inspired.
You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and all-around completely worthless man.
Dude, if only Francisca could say all those things to me.
Yeah, just add 2 letters to the last word and I'll take it.
Yeah. Thought I heard something ominous just now. Perhaps it was just my imagination. But there's nothing further for me to prove at this point.
What do you mean? Of course you still got something to prove. You still have to show some proof that I was trying to meet up with Mindy.
Proof, you say?
Remember, Edgy, everything is evidence in court, right?
You mean evidence is everything in court, Larry. But I understand your point.
Yeah, see, I'm totally a pro at this now.
Very well, if you wish to see the evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see. Pulls out a gun and shoots Larry.
It starts playing the, like, reminiscence theme. It's like...
It plays Great Revival. It just hovers over his dead body.
Yeah, it's like slowly zooming in. No, it's like when Yuri dies in Doki Doki.
Yeah.
But it's Great Revival in the background. So I think you probably present that here. Nope.
Larry, this is the final point you wish to make.
You got it. I've called on all the energy I have and told it to you with all my soul.
Okay, so Larry, take that soul and break it.
Huh? Yes, we'll stamp it under our feet until it's been ground to a fine powder. A fine powder. Oh my god. She actually is gonna kill him.
If you really put all your soul into that, then you're ready for what's coming, right?
place of the Honorable Larry, I offer my soul to you.
Larry, come out from behind there and faces like a man.
You're scary, my liege.
This whole testimony is one giant confession of all he's done tonight. He's practically begging me to show why he bothered to put himself through all this.
So you just present the note on the last one.
Larry, don't ever think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter.
Hey, why are you showing that thing to me? Andy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving knight. Well, isn't that just romantic?
But you weren't able to descend on her from above, were you, Mr. Loving Knight?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing.
You can pretend to be ignorant all you like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you were not out to meet this old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit.
Yeah, probably the part where it says Mindy.
Yeah. Larry, I suggest you take up penmanship lessons. That is, if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again.
What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English.
You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became Wendy to the average eye.
Hey, stop picking on me. It's so embarrassing.
There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? For punching, but that'll have to wait until we're all out of this crime scene.
Gee, save me from the scary man.
Sure, if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake.
That wasn't me.
Come again?
It's a fake. Someone's out to get me, so they made that fake letter to set me up. Accept your defeat graciously. But you guys are being so mean.
Penmanship analysis.
What's that?
No matter who, all people have certain unique features to their handwriting. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting of this letter to a sample of yours. I will know soon enough who it was that sent this letter.
I'll never write another thing in my life.
It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight, for you've already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting. This autograph and our mysterious letter, if we compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our questions soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure.
I'm sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right on the head.
So he finally confesses.
I saw the big princess being carried around in a stretcher and got worried, alright? I wanted to go to Mindy's room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy. Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney? What a criminally overactive imagination. Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be so shocked when I came down through the chimney.
How did you sneak it through the door, but you weren't able to enter the door?
From, like, underneath the door.
Yeah, but there were guards sitting in front of the door. How do you do that?
I mean, listen. They'd probably let the Steel Samurai slide a letter but not go in.
Sure. Except for the fact that the letter was an utter failure conveying such sentiment.
I'm really, really sorry.
Larry, you may be a shameful, good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. However, I always knew you weren't the killer. I told you to trust. Why are we getting the end of trial music? Because at the very least, I can attest to that about you.
Edgy, you're...
That's the meanest thing I've ever heard.
We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you. Ow. In any case, I believe we can say that we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Butt sought to climb down the chimney. Not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door.
Good job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. But the suspicion of that guy over there isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay?
Ow. Hey, what? Edgy. What does the Wolfman mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet?
He means that the murder weapon. Larry, did you forget there are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head? That's exactly what I mean. Can't only rely on the words of the suspect, after all. He must have figured out where he was and what he was doing all night. But the blood-stained samurai sword that was left at the crime scene, as long as there's no satisfactory explanation for that, this wolf will refuse to ease up on his bite.
Edgy, the guy. He looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me.
I'm well aware, and you should be as well, that this upcoming battle will be crucial. Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler, I've been dealt a very nice hand and a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you've got. I can easily point out the contradiction in the supposed murder weapon. But the real problem for me is figuring out what the real murder weapon is. This will be a high-stakes gamble. But this is one game I can't afford to lose. Would you say it's like Casino? Why Larry? I was the one who found the body of the victim demasked too. Besides, he was the samurai sword. Beside him was a samurai sword, glittering red, offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect, Larry Butts, in here too. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? But the owner wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you? If you're alluding to his reason for being in the chimney, we've already established that. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence. Think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. Who doesn't? Everyone in this series does, except prosecutors. And I guess Phoenix. Phoenix seems pretty cool about them. Sometimes. But come on.
Come on, I can't think of something complicated. Is that right, Edgy?
Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you. Or me, for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. Meanwhile, the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. Guilty until proven innocent. Welcome.
I mean, to be fair, he's not trying to have him declared guilty right now. He's just trying to arrest him and bring him down to, like, the station.
Yeah. Can you imagine if, like, defender or, like, attorneys and prosecutors went down to the crime scene and were just like, lol, this guy is totally guilty, arrest him, and then they argued with the police about whether they were guilty or not?
Yeah, that'd be pretty fucking funny.
Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood.
Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the test, the blood on the sword belonged to the victim. The sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it is pretty weighty. It's certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with, which leads me to suspect that the victim was beaten to death with the sword.
Beaten to death, This last statement is too important to just let it slip by. Okay.
So...
But...
I don't know. Oh, but the samurai spear,
yeah, it's hollow.
Yeah, so you present that to be like, but it's hollow, so it's not weighty.
Yeah. Do you know what this is, Agent Lang?
It's a long spear, right? We used those a lot in my country a long time ago.
Are you threatening me?
Mowing people down. Spears are the weapons of heroes throughout history.
Actually, spears are kind of like the weapon of the common man. Swords are the weapons of, like, the heroes.
Well, I mean, the common man can be the heroes. I mean, Viva la Revolution.
Yeah,
It's the
but
next most effective weapon after the whip.
the idea is, like, the knights were the ones who wielded swords. Lances were for, like, common soldiers. The whole point being is that a spear is the most brain-dead weapon possible. Stand, stab. It is super easy. And that is the joke behind why Shara is a spear girl soldier. Because she
I
didn't
see.
bother training and learning anything else.
It's funny for how easy they are to use that there's like 2 classes.
Yeah. Because soldier's just kind of a catch-all. I really do need to make more classes. I'll do that.
I mean, I did make Jaden's gonna be playing a Lance class.
Oh, that's cool.
A custom one I made, but it's a bit more like lordy. I mean, you could use it in your campaign. I just don't think you would.
Yeah. I think the whip is a slightly different category. So what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is the real weapon? No, I simply want you to take a look at this section here. The way it's bent. Precisely. Apparently a certain troublemaker hit it against a wall in the embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the inside of the Steel Samurai spears and weapons are hollow. In other words, they're replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow, let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. If there's not even a dent in the samurai sword, how do you explain that? Ayah!
Yeah, it's sort of the spear made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they'd make them out of better stuff, because
I thought you were made of sterner stuff.
I wasn't able to do my special early summer rain jab move. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show.
The Steel Samurai special move was changed tonight because of him. So the sushi slammer was just something he made up.
Yeah. Yeah!
That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back on the topic of the spear.
What's Ali up to in the background? I occasionally hear, like, droning noises. I don't know what it is.
Wait, hold on. Did you just hear the same noise?
No.
Okay. Well, I thought it might have been my computer chair.
Gotcha.
She's just vibing.
Yeah. Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se, so all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may.
Using guesswork and taking risks in place of real logic is hardly the Von Karma way.
Welcome to being a protagonist in a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney video game, Francisca.
Technically, this is a Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations video game.
And if you were going to refer to that series, you have to call it the That Man Ace Attorney.
Yeah, that's right. It's neither smart nor very clever.
Miss Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it is for the best if it remains unbroken. For no one should have conceived of the notion to convict all defendants in the first place.
What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There is nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory.
Have you regressed as a character, Francisca?
I know, like...
That may be your opinion. However, I don't believe that's all we are here for. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth.
I see. She's just playing it up so that he can prove a point to Lang. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. That's how I'll headcanon the battle.
No, actually, I think you're right. And if that means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, I'll let it crumble as I walk on towards the truth. You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed Damask without even bending it. So, what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what I'm saying here, right? And what you need to do. I don't know. I used to play fight lightsabers and plastic swords with Ian And we whacked each other a number of times and never caused any permanent damage.
Well, those aren't like if you whacked hard enough to do permanent damage, then you would bend it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we bent them and broke the shit out of them, but we didn't really hurt each other.
Yeah.
But I need is evidence even Agent Lang can't refute. This is it. It's time to bring up that to a close. Why Larry? It's possible to use a samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So isn't it natural that suspicion would fall into the owner of said weapon? How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examine every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone we've left unturned. We have managed to come away with only one logical conclusion. That's the only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it is the sword. You left no stone unturned. Is that a fact? Did you inspect every suspicious nook and cranny and not rest until you did so?
You know, can I tell you something?
That's not funny, and it's never been funny. Yes.
No. The stuff at the end of 7X, I actually I wrote that before I decided that the Lagoo's leader meeting would happen in 7X right before it. That that bit was iffy. And so there was room for humor at the start of the scene before things became dark. Which meant that descending the staircase, Caroline was gonna say, "I know a lot about the suspicious-looking nooks and the nooks and crannies in this castle, but this one looks so suspicious." And Rosaline was gonna like hit her. But I did that live. Well, so when I did that live, I forgot like that I had written jokes into the start of that scene. After I put the Lagoo's leader meeting then.
Nice.
So I had to live not say that, and then I had to edit it out for the public document. And there was a few other jokes that I skipped as well.
What did you do live then?
I just did like the scene, but without like some of the jokes at the start.
There have been times where I've skipped on jokes that I wrote in the doc. I forget what it was, but I recall something like 6X.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I remember what it was. There was a whole scene where they were in the Anako underground where Dee remarks about Anako being a really short child. And she's like, or not Anako, about Ashera being a really short child. And then Dee's like, baby. And then she's like, no, stop.
So he just cut that live.
Yeah, because it didn't fit in the scene at all.
Oh, is the scene was the scene a bit more serious?
It was not serious. I just cut it. I'm like,
Okay.
I don't remember why. There was some logic behind it. If you got something to say, then say it with the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it crystal clear for you. I'm waiting for that, like, weird hedgehog man in the background to come and slash my throat.
I think that's a replica of Alba.
It is a replica of Alba. It looks like one of the Deku.
So I think in the second line you present the photo and you're like, hey, maybe they used the statue because it's different in the photo than now. The photo of
Yeah.
Oh, you just pressed the first.
But you must know that your conclusion is wrong. Given the circumstances I'm in, the only people I can trust are my subordinates. Because they're a much more trustworthy bunch than you prosecutors will ever be. And you call yourself a professional? You still don't see, do you, Mr. Prosecutor? You have to earn my trust. And the only way to do that is to show me proof of another possible murder weapon. Another possible murder weapon? In this room, there's only one other thing left. This is going to be a gamble, but I can't withdraw from the game now. You're not going to get me to trust you by the power of your glare alone, you know. Plus, I have other reasons to why I think the samurai sword is the murder weapon.
Yeah, I think I'm right. You can press more if you want the dialogue, but...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. I was pretty sure he just whacked him. No, not yet.
Really?
Confidence
feel
is
like
like the soul, where words without confidence are but empty shells. You should waste your time and breath on words you have no confidence in. Although it's just as bad to say something in full confidence and be wrong. Arg! Yeah, what?
This game, like, the way that they did the audio mixing on the DS, when it shouts a voice line, the music does cut out for a second.
Yeah.
So I always think that it's right, and then the music comes back, and it
Yeah.
always fucks with me. Maybe you have to just present the statue and not the photo, and then he's like, well, why would it be the statue? And then you show the photo. And it wouldn't be the baubles, it would be, oh wait, no, yeah, we're in Alabast, yeah.
No.
Nope, okay.
Bang.
Then, I don't know. Fucking press everything else.
I can prove to you the possibility of the weapon is there something else. But can I do something with my strength alone?
Miles Edgeworth, what are you running straight into a quagmire for? I thought you said that you were busy in pursuit of the perfect truth. If that's the case, then show me this perfect truth, if it exists at all.
Don't worry, thanks to you, I've already prepared myself to do just that.
There's no need to thank me. I'm simply doing what any good superior would.
I suppose you are. Very well then, I'll show you the possibility of a different murder weapon.
I mean, what else the fuck else would it be than the statue, though, right?
Just press everything, I guess.
Yeah.
I inquired about how you were able to make such a claim, Lang. Lang says, capable of miracles beyond comprehension, mysterious creature is man. Rather than man, as Agent Lang's quotes are getting increasingly incomprehensible. The human body is a mysterious thing, even with a toy-like sword. It's easy to kill a man if you hit just the right spot, which is why I think it's possible to kill this without even leaving a dent. But if we think of only one way to see the world, then we see the wounds match the sword. I know
You're
that.
a little, antsy, huh?
But as long as it's a possibility, I can proclaim it as much as I like. I just want to get to the good stuff, so, you know.
Yeah.
The only place where you could find blood was the samurai sword. That's right, even with Luma.
Oh.
Which means that there are no other possibilities outside of what we've already outlined.
Now, the other possibility is that his head was bashed into the carpet. Is that what it's trying to say?
If you believe there's no other door of possibility left to open, then allow me to force one open for you. And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may be possible to be the real murder weapon. Ha! Ha ha ha! The real murder weapon? I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy. They've concluded that nothing else could have been used as the weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because even though they were able to use luminol spray on absolutely everything, they would not use it on the statue that get them instantly arrested if they touched it.
I'm thinking that they bashed his head into the rug.
That would be possible.
Oh, okay, but now he's saying that. Yeah, it could be either way.
I think it's pretty likely that it was the statue. While the
Yeah.
floor is possible, it has to be someone who's therefore theoretically strong enough to bash their head in. At this moment in time, the most likely suspect for this shit is Callisto Yu, the real Yatagarasu. I guess this guy, and
It could be bad.
I don't think it's bad. And this is the kid. He's a little bit chubby. He's a man. It'd be hard to bash his head into the carpet, I feel. Plus, he has a really big head. I'm pretty sure it's a statue. It's not possible you're meant to investigate everything. What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games. I don't appreciate when people like you slander my men. I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigation dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on. And that item is the real murder weapon. Alright then, I'll play along for now. This real murder weapon that killed the Mask 2? What exactly is it? The real murder weapon, which not a single person has yet to touch, is this. The national treasure of Alabast. You mean the Prima Du statue? Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which I believe means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it correctly, yes? Ha! You know very well that if we did that, there'd be an international incident. Between the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Bauble. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters in the balance. Over a stupid fight related to the sovereignty statue. But I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined. Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction of the statues facing just before and after the crime are different. And there's only one conclusion I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Alba, and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words.
He's most definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please, let's be rational about this. Grrr. Langzy says, just go already. Yes, sir. Shifu. Yeah? I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission to examine the Primidu statue. I see.
Wait, but then the investigation is at a standstill. Agent Lang, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally.
Save your breath. You act all weak and frail, but that old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you gotta be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know?
So then just let him do it.
He doesn't even want to do it, I don't think, is what he's saying. I think he's in on it somehow.
Hmm.
Think of both the people at the top are crooked. I bet you've never heard that saying before.
I mean, it's true to life.
You know, we recently had the elections for a lot of states and their governors.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, New Jersey had their election, as a matter of fact. Guess who
How'd
the
that go?
choices were?
Who's that?
One person said, hey, you know, New Jersey taxes, yeah, where we live in New Jersey, that's what they are, you know? Everything's expensive here. Deal with it.
Okay.
Option number 2 was masks. What? Wait, no. What? No. No. Vaccines.
I mean-
Cut it out with that. Go back to work.
Yeah, I mean, seems pretty obvious who would make a better governor then.
And we did pick him. It was stupid freaking close. It was like by maybe 50 to 100 votes.
Oh, God.
We tend to vote Democratic for the presidential election. Nearly everything else we vote Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Because the turnout rate is just so shitty for everything else. It's like
But that
only-
was one where people were like, alright, come on. Fuck,
we'll
get
let
out
the
of here.
Democrat win for once.
Yeah.
It was close. It was close.
Did you go out?
Did I? No. I kind of forgot all about it because I was working.
I don't know if my state had any stuff like that recently. I mean, I don't think like in a state like this it could make a difference, but you know, it's not like it's
I don't
not
know.
worth
Your
doing.
Democrat exists, but I'm assuming that you tend to vote Republican in your state.
Yeah, I mean like
NASCAR.
local, like county elections might be relevant. That's kind of about it. It's like that, and then just like the popular vote count nationally that
Yep.
really matter around here.
How many electoral votes does your state count for? I think mine's like 9 or something. Or
Let's
11.
see.
Agent Lang. What do you want? Just hurry up and examine the statue already.
11.
You have 11?
Yep.
Holy cow. That's more than I
Bigger
thought.
state.
But Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet. I'll take the fall if I have to later. Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone is to take the responsibility, let it be me. Responsibility? If we're gonna talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real shame if if something were to happen to me. Alright then. Less talk and more investigating. If we want to know the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a luminol chemiluminescence test on the statue. That took a second, but it's actually the proper word. A luminol test. Ah, good thinking. The statue's the murder weapon, then some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay, let's get the forensics team in here. Heh, looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. Guess that means this is the real weapon that killed Dimas too. Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate just yet if I were you. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill Dimas too, so the charge remains. We are hardly done examining the statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that it is a real weapon, I believe further examination is required. You think so? Okay then, knock yourself out. Well, international incidents be damned. The sword drawn and ready, there's a certain aura of valor around here. Ling Zi says those who hold a sword hold an equally strong will. It's said that the weapon once held reflects the strength and will of one's character.
Yeah, Chandra would like that guy.
I wonder if this was created as a show of the country's majesty. I don't think she would like Lang. Lang would just come down and be really loud and obnoxious, and she'd be like, "Please leave."
She'd at least like hear that quote, and she'd be like, "Oh, maybe you're not so bad."
And then he'd say something like, "Ha! What a great place!" And he just leans his elbow on like an anvil, and she's like, "I'm going to destroy you."
Yeah, I mean, that's how she'd feel. I don't know if it's what she'd say.
It says that I'm ready to exact punishment on those who would break the law.
It's like
I missed the last line.
I want someone to go up to Chandra and be like, "Can you forge like a really tiny necklace sword for me, like a Zazel?" She'd be like,
tiny necklace.
I like a really tiny necklace sword so that he can take the power of the whatchamacallit.
From the holy metal.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Just throw that in there. That's a good support. I'm not planning to have Howard support with Azazel in the next chapter, so you know that'd be a good just freebie Azazel support. Just before he leaves, he winds up down there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean it would make sense that he'd talk to her anyways.
Because like after he did the research on the like, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Why are you glaring at me?
Why are you glaring at me? I thought you understood. I'm not the killer.
I believe in your case, she wishes to exact punishment before anything else happens.
Probably one of those where you turn it.
Yeah. I just have to remember what the turn button is, because yeah, it's this one.
Oh, hey! What do you know?
That's a little sus.
It's a little sussy.
What do we have here? The dirty smudge. Looks like a handprint. What a definitive bit of evidence like you doing under here. Looks like we found some fingerprints to analyze. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. But it looks to me like it's too late for me to do anything about it now. It's not Larry. Hey, forensics guy, what results in these fingerprints ASAP, you hear me? Larry's not freaking out or anything, so it's not Larry. Agent Lang, I have the analysis results, sir. Good, and? Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know the victim of the murder in the Babalese embassy? The prints belong to him, Mr. Manny Cochin, sir. But that's... What's going on around here? No, that's impossible. Each Prima statue can only be handled by someone of that country. Also, I just realized this is like the only other case in this series where there's 2 murders.
Oh, yeah. What do you know?
That never even crossed my mind.
I mean, you did get to the part in Spirit of Justice where they're like, hey, a second body was found.
I guess that's true.
Add that to the list.
There's 3 now.
I'm gonna need to like write you a fucking refresher essay when you decide to go back to that game, because that is a complicated case.
I think I remember most of what happened.
Okay.
Each Prima statue can only be handled by someone of that country, but by the very fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one.
Spoilers for Spirit of Justice, kids at home. Sorry.
Did Ali just shout something from the back? I didn't hear it.
No, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
But it's for the 0 viewers.
Oh, okay. There's a case with 2 people in it who got murdered. It's not like that. It's like a cool thing. That's not really a spoiler.
That's fair.
Leads me to only one conclusion. It's like me saying, hey, you know, there's a case where Maya gets kidnapped, and then everyone's like, oh, really? Wow. Leads me to only one conclusion. The statue is actually Bobble's Prima statue.
Impossible. It can't be.
Ayah!
Ayah!
Larry never once set foot on Bobble's soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us even further. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with an Alabastian knife in a bauble. And Damas, too, was killed on Alabastian soil with Bobble's national treasure. In the mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu who visited both countries. The pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture they were to form. To be continued. That's probably a pretty good place to end off, honestly.
Yeah, I think it is.
Alright, well, in normal fashion, let's see what the next scene looks like.
Yeah, sure.
Because, I mean, we started off with a banger of a scene at the beginning. So let's
Yeah,
see
that's
this absolute winner. Cone. Well, I gotta admit, it's still not really calling to me. Alright, we're gonna need one extra line this time around.
Yeah, that's right.
I've left the Damas 2 investigation to Francisca and returned to Bobble.
Oh no! She's gonna reappear again. They're gonna play fucking Great Revival.
That's enough Francisca for me. For one game.
There's no such thing as enough Francisca, Miles Edgeworth.
Yes there is.
Nope.
It's possible.
No. No.
Von Karma investigation.
Yes, please.
It's very surprising that they have not returned Von Karma. It feels weird.
Yeah, I feel like that's something they do in like Ace Attorney 7 DLC.
I feel like that's just something they would do in Ace Attorney 7, period. Just
I
throw
mean,
her in there like a case.
I'd hope so, but
It's been too long. Throw her in. She's like one of the only other prosecutors that has enough staying power. And also, just have a case where all the prosecutors come back together. All of them. Even the ones who, well, actually, I think regular Von Karma probably got executed. But, well, Gatto probably also got executed. Okay, so
yeah.
bring in Edgeworth, Von Karma. Both Pains, both of them.
Yeah, bring in fucking
Blackwell.
Clavier.
And you could leave
Blackwell.
Sand Machine behind if you want. I don't really mind.
Yeah, I mean, it would be the one I'd complain the least about being missing, but I'd still like the presence.
And Phoenix just enters a room. He's like, "Oh my god, it was crazy." And he enters the room, and it's just all the prosecutors sitting in the room, just having a chat.
It doesn't say which joke.
It doesn't say which joke.
Just the Joker, Allie.
I'm the Joker, baby.
I don't think that's true.
Ooh, wait. Ali's talking about the Joker? Hold up.
Ross is excited to hear you talking about the Joker.
Tell her to come back. She has to see the Joker.
Oh yeah, Allie, here, you want to see the Joker?
Okay.
Yeah, look here, look here. It's
Manny or
yeah, it's the Joker, baby.
that's
Do you want to
And
see
then-
someone who is laughing at you not owning an air fryer?
Clearly, you don't own an air fryer. She said okay and laughed, and then went back to what she's doing.
just blatantly infringing on the copyright of both DC and
Both DC and... Okay, we're done here.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna Callisto you out of here.
Is that
Callisto see you next time. Because it's like, see you, Callisto you. Huh.
I'd give that a begrudging +2.
It's like me liking YouTube comments. I just don't. So, I never feel bad. I never dislike comments, and I never dislike videos, typically.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got rid of dislikes. They're gone. Well, they're
Yeah,
still there, but you can't see them. We're helping the smaller creators, don't you know?
It's like, no, you're just tired of big corporations crying at you.
Yeah.
You just like to win. Did you finish the recording?
Yes, the recording is over. Goodbye.